سیم برق مواظب باشید. آره. اوه هواپیمای بابا این.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Preacher Man TV. Guys, it's good to be here with you today. I'm Pastor Jay, your friendly neighborhood host, and we have in the studio the man they call Joshua Seth.
Hola.
Yes, sorry. So without any further delay, let's get to the Preacher Man topic of the day. The Iran plane tragedy, as dubbed by the Canadian press, is now more or less out of the news cycle. After all, there's only so much you could say about 176 people who lost their lives as an airliner was shot out of the sky. Without a doubt, the families of those victims are still struggling to come to terms with such a sudden and tragic event. The common thing that stood out to me as I read the articles from the National Post and elsewhere is truly thought-provoking. The archipelago of grief that is touching every corner of the country of Canada is in no way surprising. Grief is the natural order of things, so is anger and regret. The noticeable thing emerging from the shaken Canadian diaspora, however, is the almost ubiquitous lamentation of unfulfilled potential. There's indeed a number of people, at least so stated by the press, that are reeling at the thought of what could have been. So much unfulfilled potential. One mourner wrote, "It is flavors never tasted. It is books never read. It is lovers never met. It is children never born." All these are potent and genuine reactions. The questions are warranted, the sentiments exact. The line that got me, however, is the one that says, "It is children never born." Why haven't we lamented the 50 million lives we've lost to abortion in America alone? Yes, there was so much potential on that Iranian flight. How much more have we forfeited by reason of abortion? That question will probably never be answered. Humanity will never realize its full potential. Why? You're still asking that question? Because we will never know what heights we could have ascended to because we've aborted the steps that were supposed to take us there. Who knows? Somewhere in that 50 million, it could be that we thrust out the cure for coronavirus into eternity. Somewhere in that 50 million, we've decimated the cure for AIDS and or cancer. Anyway, what good can come from speculation? Let's not even discuss all the other nations that followed suit with the advent of Roe vs. Wade. Anyhow, I'm not here to take you on some horrid guilt trip. I'm here to motivate and elevate. I've seen people passionately stand outside abortion clinics, openly condemning the barbaric practice. Kudos to them for mustering the intestinal fortitude to make such a bold stand. But this is not the starting point for the revival of human potential. The starting point is right there in the mirror. You want to start by being sure to fulfill your own potential. 50 million babies were not as blessed as you were to squint at the first sight of light or to breathe a breath of fresh air for the first time. You are blessed to be here. Do not squander your opportunity to live. Live this life to the best of your ability. And if your ability is inept, get more. It is your duty to constantly seek to transcend the borders of your own spirituality. Let the kingdom of God come on earth as it is in heaven through you. Don't complain that there isn't enough love in the world. Be love. The world is filled with complainers. We don't need any more. Don't be a preacher man of mere words. Let there be potency in your speech, so much so that men may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Don't be lethargic and lazy. Get up and get out and enjoy the world that God has created. When you study, study hard. When you play, play harder. Don't just strive to be the best you can be. That may not be good enough. strive to be the best that God can make you. The more you give your will to Him, the more you humble yourself, is the more He fulfills in you. Humanity will never reach its full potential because we've robbed ourselves of that. But that doesn't mean that you can't. Now think about that. All right, so we're back up. Guys, I hope that you got something from that. And I believe that God is raising up a generation who's going to change things. And that's the truth. I want to say a special shout out to all the preacher girls, all the ladies who support the Preacher Man TV podcast. Guys, we appreciate it. I thank all of you for sharing and letting people know about the awesome things that's happening in the Preacher Man community. I thank all of you. I'm very, very grateful for all of you who take the time to watch these episodes every Thursday. And for those of you who join us in prayer, don't forget, is it next week? Next week?
I think it's next week.
Next week is our live stream, our second live stream. Last month it was awesome. Next week is our live stream. And I hope that all of you guys get ready for that. It will be 5 p.m. next Thursday. So hopefully every one of you will be able to join us for that, right? So that is our episode for today. Yes, and trust me, we have all the guys. We are ready to do more skits and things like that. But just time is of the essence. That's why we're not getting to do any. But hopefully we will get a couple done in time for the next live stream. Yeah. That will happen, no two ways about that. And who knows, you might be seeing some new faces on the Preacher Man podcast, as well as some old faces. So guys, you could look forward to that. God bless you. Thank you, guys, for joining us. Oh, and I think some of you could see the Preacher Man t-shirts. I have a couple of these for some of the Preacher Men looking at me right now. I just need for Mr. Clint Peters and Justin Ramdeen to inbox me, send me a message, an email with your address so I can send these for you ASAP. For those of you wondering, well, why are they getting and the rest of us not getting for free and things like that? It's because on the very first episode of Preacher Man TV, I said that the first people to comment, they're going to get a free t-shirt. And guess what? The t-shirts are here now. It took us long enough. They're here now. So I'm going to hold to my promise and send those t-shirts off. Clint might have to wait a little while because to ship it to Trinidad might be exorbitant. I'm going to check, but it might be exorbitant. I'm going to send it with someone who's coming, but I don't know how we're going to do that yet. But I'm going to get you guys your t-shirts. If you're interested in getting one of these, let me know, and I'll tell you how you can get it. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.